Hi everybody. I'm back from my holiday now, feeling refreshed and ready to get back into the routine of filming and editing videos to put up for you guys. We had a lovely time while we were away. We were staying up with my mum and dad up in Wales. They do have a lot of bigger stores up there that we don't have down here in Cornwall. And plus, my birthday actually happened while we were away, so I did have a little bit of extra birthday money to be spending. So I did go out and look around for arts and crafts and colouring kind of stuff, the usual things that I would buy. And I thought I could show you guys a little bit of a haul with the things that I did buy while I was away. I've never really done a haul type video before, so if any of you do have any tips and tricks to make this a little bit better to be watching, then I'm all ears for those, and just drop a comment down below. But I thought what I could do is start, as we can see here, with the colouring books that I picked up while I was away. Maybe move on to the more arts and crafts supplies, and then finish up with the art supplies, the pencils and stuff that I picked up while I was away, and then drop some timestamps down in the description in case people aren't interested in certain parts of that. So first we'll have a little bit of a closer look at each of these books here. And of course, if anything is shown in this video and you'd like to see me work on or work with, then also drop a comment down below and I'll see what I can do about that. But without further ado, we'll move on and take a little bit of a look at these books. I thought we could start with this one because I'm really excited about this colouring book here. This one is by Anne Stokes and it is a velvet colouring book. Each of the pages in this book are like, I'm not sure if you remember colouring when you were younger, the velvet art pictures that were kind of printed with that black flocking. Instead of black lines, it had that black kind of flocking to it, and they used to come in single sheets with maybe a pack of felt tip pens, and we used to colour while we were younger. I know I did anyways. And this book is actually printed the same way as those velvet art pictures, with the flocking instead of the black lines. I'm not sure if that's going to be totally obvious on the camera. I'll try and zoom in, but this is all the velvet flocking that we used to get in those velvet art sets, and each of the pictures in here is printed like that. And I thought it might be interesting to colour some pictures. Let me just zoom back in. And I thought it might be interesting to colour some of those pictures with the pencils or the watercolours and see how those medium kind of work with that sort of velvet flocking that we have going on with the line art. I'll show you a few of the pictures that we have in here, maybe a little bit of a flip through. We are at an angle, so it is a little bit difficult, but you can see the kind of thing that we have going on here. The lines are fairly thick, I think, because they do have to be printed with that flocking. Most of them have this black in the background, again, the sort of velvet flocking going on. And I thought it might be interesting to try and colour some of these with the more sort of adult, shall I say, colouring supplies rather than the felt tip pens, although it might be interesting to, again, try with the felt tip pens and see how those work on the paper rather than the card. But yeah, I thought this book was really interesting, and I'm thinking that might be quite fun to work with and see how the flocking reacts to different media, because I remember colouring these when I was younger, and this the black fibres from the flocking would be sticking to the nib of the pen, and every now and then we'd have to clean the pen, get rid of all that black fibres from the flocking from the pen. So yeah, pencils maybe. I'm not sure how well those would work, or other different media might be interesting. But that is the first book I bought while I was away. That one is the Anne Stokes Velvet colouring book. I do like my Anne Stokes kind of fantasy art. The next one is also an Anne Stokes colouring book. This is the Dragon Collection colouring book, and this one is just printed normally on paper with ink. The same sort of pictures, I think. I recognise a few of these pictures from the Velvet Art book, although the Velvet Art book does only have around 12 pages in it, I think. I could be wrong on that, 10 or 12, something like that. But this one, yeah, lots of pictures of fantasy dragons in this one, which again will be quite interesting. And only a few of them have the borders around the outside, which is, I'm not really a huge fan of the borders around the edge of Anne Stokes' art. A little bit too repetitive for me, but I do love her artwork, so there are always ways to deal with stuff like that, of course. You can paint over, use washi tape, collage, there are lots of possibilities. So yeah, this book is another one I'm quite excited to be working in. Oh, I love the sugar skulls as well, so that's quite a good one. So yeah, that is the Anne Stokes Dragon colouring book that I picked up while I was away. That one there. The next one is this one, the Angel Numbers colouring book. It is a Lom Art book. Yeah, the Lom Art book. I'm not sure if that's visible on the spine there. So I know this paper should, in theory, take very well to using super tips as watercolour, as my other Lom Art books do take quite well to that. It does soak through the paper, but fortunately these are single-sided. Just a little bit of a flip through. You can see they are single-sided with maybe a little bit of a text here. So yeah, great for alcohol markers as well. Most of the pictures are quite finely detailed. So these should be quite fun to be working on, I'm thinking. And this one I was looking at online before I did go up to visit my parents. So it was really nice to find that kind of in the wild, so to speak, and be able to grab that one and work on that one. Each one is about a certain number called angel numbers. And each picture is based around the number, so you will get that number in each picture. But I think there are some lovely illustrations in there that I'm looking forward to colouring. And that one is the Angel Numbers colouring book. That is by Anjali Singh. And yeah, another one I'm looking forward to there. The last one, and I was kind of encouraged to buy this one by my teenage son, The Shocking Horror colouring book by Juan Calais and Santiago Calais. This one, yeah, is a little bit along the horror theme, so if anyone doesn't want to see anything kind of along the horror side, then look away for a little while, and we'll get onto my art and craft supplies in a little minute. But yeah, this one is also quite interesting. Some of the pictures are really kind of weird and a bit, yeah, how am I going to colour that kind of thing? But yeah, there's a few of them that I'm really looking forward to colouring in here. Again, looking forward to it. I'm going to say that about everything. But yeah, this one, I'll give a few ideas of what kind of pictures are in here. Yeah, definitely along the horror kind of side of things. Sorry if I knocked the camera there, but yeah, kind of an awkward angle here. Yeah, kind of a horror monster sort of theme one. But each picture is framed in the middle of the page, which is what I like about this one. So you're not colouring right to the edge of the page, which is something I don't really love to colour very often. So yeah, that one is looking quite interesting. Maybe it'd be good for around October time, Halloween, spooky season. Yeah, there's that one, The Shocking Horror colouring book. Of course, if you want any full flip throughs of any that I haven't given a full flip through for, then drop a comment and I'll get onto that. So those are all the colouring books I bought while I was away, and I thought maybe we could move on next to my kind of art and craft supplies, collage kind of stuff that I picked up, just maybe to show you guys the kind of thing I do head for and pick up and grab when I do see it. So first of all, I'll start with the stickers. I bought a couple of these kind of 3D butterfly stickers. And one of these I actually found, you can see they're in a second-hand or charity shop, a thrift store, I think they're called in the US. And they do have quite a few thrift stores where my mum and dad were staying. So yeah, I grabbed those when I saw them. I thought they might be quite interesting to use. They are, you can see there that the wings do actually come up from the surface of the actual sticker there, so those might be quite fun to use, I thought. And these are the same kind of thing that I bought new. These are from the range, I think, these ones, the Art Studio butterfly stickers. The same kind of idea with the wings of the butterfly coming up from the actual sticker to give a little bit of a 3D effect. Maybe not quite as effective in colouring books, but when you do open the books, hopefully they'll pop up and give you those nice kind of 3D butterfly kind of effects there. So those are the two little butterfly stickers that I ended up grabbing while I was away. And you all know I love my stick-on gems, the kind of stick-on crystals, so I did grab some of those as well when I was away, again from the range, I think those were. And I did find some in the charity shop looking a little bit beaten up, but we do have there some kind of pearl stickers as well. And for only 50 pence, I couldn't really leave them there because I do use my stick-on crystals quite a lot. I love to use those in my colouring books, so I grabbed those when I was away. And I think those will be quite fun to use. I do like that there's loads of different sizes on these blue ones here, and there was one that was kind of pink and purple as well, but I think I'm more likely to use the blue ones, so I grabbed those and I thought they might be quite fun. So yeah, I did get those, some more crystal stick-on gems there. And finally, I'm not entirely sure how I can use these, but I did pick them up anyway because I thought they were really pretty. These just decorated kind of circle stickers here. I got the blue and I got the purple again. Purple, my favourite colour. I do tend to use it quite a lot. The pink, not so much, but these are decorated with kind of a gold shimmer. Oh, I'll bring them up to show you a little bit closer. Yeah, there we go. They're decorated with the kind of gold shimmer to them. I'm not entirely sure how I will use those, but I've grabbed them anyway. I figured maybe I can use them for decoration in backgrounds or something, but I thought they were pretty and I grabbed them. Figure out how to use them later, right? I got these ones as well. These purple ones, the same kind of thing, but with a kind of lilac-y purple in the background there. Yeah, again, I just thought they were really pretty and I could figure out a way to use them. Even if it's just in a background for some bit of decoration, I thought I could use those. And next, this might be giving away my theme for September. Let's get into focus with these ones. Yeah, I grabbed these space stickers, glitter space stickers with lots of all these planets. That's what I like, these planets. I thought maybe for doing a galaxy star background and sticking on planets or UFO or something like that might be quite fun, especially with the theme I do have in mind for September. So these were on my list to be grabbed. Here we go. I'm not sure if the actual stickers themselves are hologram. No, that's just the background, I think. We have the moon there, a few different planets. I love this little UFO, and I think these will come in handy for my September theme. There's a little bit of a hint there. There's a little astronaut as well. And there is 3 sheets of those, I think. It says pack of 3 there. So I'm hoping there's 3 sheets of those, and those will come in really, really handy. So there's those there. And I do love stickers. I love to add stickers into my colouring pages. And again, going with the space theme, and these were from Charity Shop. This one is the Explorer's Space book, includes stickers and a giant poster. I thought this one would be great for collage, as we are moving on to the collage kind of supplies now. And this was only 25 pence, kind of like a quarter, I suppose that would be in the US. Yeah, I'm not leaving it there for that. It does have a page of stickers in the front, and loads of pages like this that would be perfect for collage. Amazing for collage. And these stickers, again, satellites, planets and stuff like that. But I thought this would be really good for collage. A lot of children's books do have a lot of kind of illustrations that you may be able to use for collage, just as the astronaut, he's funky. Just as a little tip, yeah, children's books tend to be pretty good for the collage kind of images. And even if I only use the stickers for the 25 pence, yeah, that would be great. That planet's cool as well. So yeah, I do love my collage kind of supplies. So that is one that I got from a charity shop, all about the space and with the stickers in the front page there. The next one I also got from a charity shop. This one is Dinosaurs, and this one is a children's sticker book. I'm not exactly sure how much this one was. I think maybe 50 pence, 75 pence, something like that. It was definitely under £1. So I grabbed this because it is lots of really fun stickers. As you can see there, all the dinosaurs, rocks, fossils, all that kind of stuff. And I thought these might be really fun to use in my colouring books. And again, yeah, I wasn't going to leave it there for the price that it was, less than £1. It's awesome. I do love all the little tiny ones. I thought they would be great. These little mushrooms I love. Yeah, I thought they would be quite fun to actually play with in my colourings. I could maybe add in these little goofy dinosaurs, maybe. Those might be awesome to use. But yeah, again, really fun. I couldn't leave it there for that price. And this last page is really kind of shiny and glary. Hopefully that's not glaring too much. And the background is a little bit holographic there. But again, the same kind of thing, these goofy dinosaurs, little rocks, fossils, bits of grass and stuff like that. I figured they'd come in useful for something. And yeah, that is another one I got from my kind of charity shop wanderings there. That one is a dinosaur sticker book. I'm not sure who that's by. Not really any names on there that I can be giving you, but yeah, stuff you grab from a charity shop is not really something you can pinpoint and give people directions where to buy it, unfortunately. The next thing I'm going to show you is this book. The Amazing World of Collage. I found this again in the range, and I thought this one would be amazing to bring different elements into my colorings. I've seen people do this a lot, especially Colouring Collage with Em. She does amazing jobs bringing in all these different collage elements into her colorings and making it work. And this is just, well, the back has a few different backgrounds. You can actually cut out the images from the front of the book and make your own kind of little collages on these backgrounds. But you can also use these as backgrounds for colouring pages. The method I've shown in a video where you cut out all the spaces in the background and just stick a whole page behind them. There are a few in the back here that would be wonderful for that. That's a lovely undersea one. Easter Island, lots of stuff like that. But the main reason I bought this book, no, not the alphabets, is all the images like this, lots of images of lots of different things that you can basically cut out and stick onto your colorings or your collages for a bit of interest and a little bit of fun. I thought it was really exciting to be able to have things like this that I can bring into my colourings. Oh, look at that cat. He's really cool. Yeah, so I thought this was really, really good. And this was only like a couple of pounds, I think £2.50. So if anybody in the UK is around the range, you might be able to find this book to bring into your colourings. These might be quite fun as well. Yeah, I just thought it was really interesting and really fun, and more planets, space rockets, yeah. Wonderful birds, animals, lots of different things. Teeny flowers here. They're not actually stickers, you do have to cut around them and cut them out of the book. Leaves, or butterflies. I go through butterflies so fast. Sea creatures there. So yeah, I just thought that was a really good book with all those different collage kind of images in there that I can cut out and bring into my colorings. I do love to use collage. And another thing I do go through, which I did manage to grab while I was away, collage paper. I do go through a lot of collage paper. I'll start with these two, again from the range. Most of these are from the range or charity shops. I'll start with these two. This one is an A4 marble designs, and this one is a tie-dye paper, which I thought was really fun. This one might be really good to cut up and use for clothes maybe. There are 4 different designs, as we can see there. I'll try and grab one of each so we can see what those look like. That's the first kind of design. There's a few sheets of that one. This is the second. There we go. It's really quite thin, sort of origami style paper. So yeah, I thought this one would be really good for the collages, especially for clothes, maybe backgrounds. They'd be quite fun in a small background. Those are the 4 designs, and there are quite a few sheets of each. I think there's about 10 sheets of each in that little packet there, so I think those will be quite fun to be using. I did buy 2 packets of those because I think they were on special offer for like 50p for a packet for all those different sheets of tie-dye paper, so that is something that I will be able to use in my colourings, or I can use those as they are origami paper to make the little bookmarks that I do use for marking my finished pages, so those are quite exciting. This one I thought would be great for backgrounds. Marble designed paper pad. There is 8 unique colours and 2 sheets per colour, and this has a variety of different marble kind of patterns in there. Again, might be quite used for backgrounds, or maybe marble columns or pillars, something like that. Maybe even clothes if I'm feeling brave enough. They are quite nice patterns. And A4 size, that's the size of most colouring books, unless you venture into the big square book territory. So yeah, there's that one there. All the different patterns are shown on the front cover there. Those are all the different colour patterns you do get in that one. I also got quite a few big books of collage paper while I was away. I'll try and show all of them here and then go into a little bit more detail on all of them there. And these are great because they will work for the big square books. And of course you get a lot more of each image when you have a bigger page like that. But I'll show you each one separately, a little bit more detail here. Let's gather all them up together again. We'll start with this one. And this one is called Grunge. They're all art studio kind of scrapbooking paper, 12 by 12 inches on these papers. And these ones, yeah, really great for backgrounds. I do love the kind of grungy sort of backgrounds. You can also work on top of this paper. I think it's not too shiny to work on top of. I'll try and give a little bit of a show of the different sort of designs we have. Kind of like distressed sort of patterns. There's a couple of sheets of each. Yeah, they're really fun for backgrounds. Not so much for clothes, these ones. Maybe like a plaster wall or something like that. Yeah, really, really nice. Fairy wings, maybe they can make good fairy wings. This one looks a bit watercolory, that one. Very grungy, that one there. But you could spatter more paint on top of there, spattered with a bit of gold. I think that would look really nice, that one. Or most of them, actually. There were a lot more different patterns that I didn't pick up, but the ones I did pick up I am really happy with. That one is called Grunge. This one is called Marble. Yeah, I can just about get these all on camera. This one is called Marble, a little bit more of the gold sort of fancy pattern to this one. Yeah, really kind of luxurious looking, these ones. Maybe again for interior design kind of pictures, these would work really well. For backgrounds, that one might work for clothes or fairy wings. But yeah, super nice, and I do use a lot of these these kind of scrapbook paper books. I find it really fun to work with. So yeah, that is the Ocean Marble, that one is called, with all blues and purples. Again, it's a little bit of a theme here. I do like my blues and my turquoise, my purple. And the next two are a little bit more along the grungy side. This one I thought was really cool. This one is brick textures. Again, for backgrounds, maybe for the more kind of modern sort of street, I suppose is the word, kind of pictures, funky sort of hip hop maybe sort of style. But these are all the different textures you can get in this one. Really old weathered bricks, which I thought was really fun. Maybe not as much use as the marble ones, but yeah, it's great to have them in your little kind of arsenal. When it comes to collage, the more different kind of papers you have, the better, really. For any occasion comes up, you've got something that will fit, and I really do love the kind of brick sort of texture, especially the old weathered sort of Victorian style bricks. I think we do have some in here. The red bricks. Where are the red bricks? There are some in here that I really do like, the red ones. There we go, these ones. Yeah, I love that old Victorian brick sort of grungy style. So yeah, and that one, really nice. But there we go, that is the brick kind of texture scrapbooking paper there. And I also got the wood texture scrapbooking paper, and I did have one little piece of kind of like this in another different book that I've used up now, and that is used a lot for floorboards. I use that one for floorboards quite a lot when I am colouring. And this one was wood. Lots of different styles and colours of wood that might be useful for maybe furniture, or yeah, floorboards is what I kind of use it for quite a lot. And it's useful to cover up anything that's drawn in the bottom of a picture, probably an interior scene more than anything else. You can cover up what's drawn just with some wood texture like this, and instantly it's floorboards. Or maybe buildings. You could make a log cabin. You can make a log cabin out of something like this. Especially now winter and Christmas are coming up. Log cabins might be in the forefront. But yeah, that is the wood texture book that I've got there, and that is all the kind of art and craft sort of collage style supplies. That is the wood texture, again the art studio 12-inch by 12-inch designer paper. And I do have a few art supplies to show to you guys as well that I did get while I was away, so I'll just show you those for the end. And again, if there's anything that you want to see me work with, see me test and try out, and most of these I haven't tested or tried out yet, just drop a comment down below and I will try and make a video, do that on camera for you guys. First of all, as a present for my birthday, it was my birthday while we were away on holiday, my other half very graciously bought me these as a present, the Castle Arts Harmonious collection, and I have actually tried these ones out, and I do like the way that they do work. There's some lovely shades of colour in there. I have filled out the swatch sheet, so I can show you the swatch sheet. Yeah, it's underneath there, but I did fill out the swatch sheet there, so you can see the kind of colours that we are looking at with those pencils. Some really nice shades there, really muted sort of grey tone to most of them. There are a couple, if I bring this up, focus, where there are little bits of other colours actually in the lead of the pencil, like this green here has a little bit of orange has come through there. I'm not sure if that's showing on the camera, but there's a little bit of orange that's come through there in that green, and that grey there had a little bit of a different colour in it as well. I'm not sure if that's a darker grey or more of a browner grey, but just those two had little kind of flaws to them. The colour's still nice. Maybe I won't gravitate towards those two as much, as I do know there may be slight problems, but the rest of them, yeah, I do really like the rest of them. Really mossy, natural colours that I think I might be able to bring into my colouring quite a lot. I think I've been told that people do use these colours with pastel colour pencils as well. I do have a couple of sets of pastel colour pencils. Not the Castle Arts pastel pencils, but I'm going to see how they work well in combination with maybe some pastel colours. I think that might work quite well. I'll make sure I put that on the top this time. There are a couple out of there. As I said, I was using those, so there are a couple of colours actually out of that box at the moment, but I have tried those out and I do like how they work. Those were really fun. Again, I can use those on camera if you guys are wanting me to do that, give a proper kind of a showing of how they work. But yeah, that's the first kind of art supply I'm going to be showing you. And the next few were all from the charity shops. I'm not entirely sure how these work. I have tried a little bit with the watercolour pencils for a background on a picture, and they did seem to work quite well. The crayons, yeah, I haven't really tried out. We do have some oil pastels, and these were all from charity shop, £3 each. I've taken the sticker off this one, but they were all £3 each. So I grabbed those. You can't really go wrong for that kind of price. I will show you each one individually. We'll start with the crayons, as I've never really seen any Pentel kind of neon colours. I think they're supposed to resemble. I don't really have a lot of experience with the neo colours or any kind of water soluble crayons, so these were quite exciting for me to grab and maybe try out and see how they work. I have not tried these out yet. They seem to be fairly new. It did come with a water brush, and you can see there is water in there. That's from when I tried out the watercolour pencils while I was away, so that was very handy to have the water in the brush and not have to have a little pot. But yeah, I'll bring those up a little bit closer. These are the colours that we have got in that set. Very lightly used. I haven't been in and cleaned them up or anything yet. This is how they came. So yeah, those might be really interesting to have a bit of a go with. I might try and do that on camera, see how they do work. I'm guessing they're supposed to be along the same lines as Neocolor, although Neocolor, from what I've seen, a little bit kind of chunkier. The crayons there. It says, create a crayon sketch, use a special water brush to blend lines and colours. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to give those a little bit of a go. I'm not sure where they fall into the budget scheme of things when you're buying new, but being as they were only £3 in the charity shop, I thought I'd give those a little bit of a go. So those are one thing that I did actually pick up while I was away. Next we have these Derwent watercolour pencils, the 12 set. These do seem to be quite nice quality from what I did try. As you can see, they are pretty used, especially the black and the kind of brown. Is that an ochre colour there? Copper Beech, that one is called, kind of a brown ochre colour, and the yellow ochre, especially those, but the rest fairly good still. And yeah, the ones that I used were the blue and the purple, and they worked really well. They did dissolve really nicely, so I don't think they're super cheap on the budget end of things when you're buying new, because they did dissolve really nicely and work quite well. So those are another thing that I'm going to be playing with and trying out a little bit more in the future, I'm thinking. The Derwent watercolour pencils. Again, if you want more of a test of them, with colouring a picture with them on camera maybe, then drop me a line in the comments. But yeah, that's the barcode information there if anybody's interested in grabbing those. But yeah, I bought those from the charity shop, and for £3 I figured, yeah, might as well give them a bit of a go. And lastly were these oil pastels, and I have no idea the brand of these. Is it Senelia? Is that the brand there? I'm not entirely sure, but they seem to be fairly new. I'm not exactly sure how they work, and I don't really have a lot of experience with oil pastels. So I thought, seeing as they were only £3, it's a good price to pick those up and maybe give them a little bit of a go. Maybe in a Camilla de Erico with those big chunky pictures with big areas to be filling in, and see how they actually work. I have seen Colour by Maya use these quite a lot, the oil pastels, and yeah, they seem to be quite fun to be using. I'm not sure exactly how to fix them. I think she did suggest using satin glazing liquid, which I don't have, so it might be interesting to see what you really need to work with those, use them and fix them. Just open those up. So there we go. These are a little bit more well used. As I said, they were secondhand from a kind of charity shop or a thrift shop. Those are the colours that we do have. Quite a few of them have been used there, but I think there's enough life in them to justify the £3 price tag there. And yeah, I'm looking forward to playing around with those. Hopefully they're not too cheap, kind of price-wise, to buy them new. Hopefully they do work quite well, and I'll be able to play around with blending and getting a few colouring pages done with those. Not sure if there's anything to be seeing up close on those, but I will show you that, yeah, those are the oil pastels that I bought. I'm looking forward to playing around with. Those might be quite fun. And again, for that price point, I can't really be leaving them there for that. It's definitely worth giving them a little bit of a try. Again, a little bit used looking, a little bit beaten up, but yeah, secondhand. That's what you pay for. That's what you get, isn't it? Really. So yeah, that is all the supplies, the books, and the craft supplies that I did pick up while I was away on holiday, including a birthday present from my lovely other half there. I really do love those pencils. They work really well. My next video will probably be my finished pages video. I did colour a few while I was away, so I do have a few to be showing. I didn't get many done for my theme of Leo the Lion because, yeah, the last 2 weeks before I went away were fairly busy and we have only just arrived back. So, yeah, that will be interesting to look back onto those, I think, and definitely fun to play around with those new art supplies. Hopefully you have enjoyed watching along and seeing all the things I did buy while I was away on holiday. Of course, any tips or tricks on filming haul videos, if I've done anything super wrong, then please do be letting me know also down below. If you have enjoyed following along and looking at all my little purchases today, please consider liking and subscribing. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you in future videos. Bye.